Hello and welcome to the Slapshot Syndicate podcast. Be sure to subscribe for more content, and whilst you're at it, go and follow our social media pages. They're on screen now. Now, on to the episode.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Slapshot Syndicate. We're back in the bar once again, fellas. It's good to be back, familiar, and we'll talk about this weekend. Bit of a mixed bag, some good results.
Yeah, some good results over the weekend. Obviously for the Seahawks it was relatively decent, just couldn't get over the line on Saturday, but you know, it was showing signs that we have something cooking, hopefully, and some good performances all around by the looks of it, which we'll come to in our team of the week.
Yeah, and we've had a busy weekend and not doing our usual bits and bobs. I'm sure people watching have seen us all suited and booted on the Saturday, so we do dress up quite smartly. We don't look as trampy as this all the time.
Yeah, no, it was a good night. That was for the Chasing Rainbows charity ball, was it? Yeah. Obviously, we went with, as guests of Alex and Amy, who, you know, Chasing Rainbows mean a massive deal to, and you know, the event itself was fantastic. If you've not seen what the charity is about, you know, feel free to have a look at them. For anyone that's obviously going through a bit of a difficult time or might need some help with fertility or baby loss, it's a fantastic charity, and I'm sure they'll be there to help.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better. Brad has, well said, and you know, we do wish anybody who's suffering all the best. With that, lads, let's get into our episode and Seahawks reaction. So fellas, let's look at the weekend for the Hull Seahawks. Bit of a mixed bag this weekend, just gone. Saturday away at Peterborough Phantoms and home on the Sunday to Romford Raiders. Sort of as we went into this one, we thought, yeah, real tough game. Peterborough, very good at their own gaff, and Romford, you know, we thought maybe going into it initially that it might be a bit of an easier game for Seahawks to go to, but obviously we'll come into how Romford fared on the Saturday, which sort of maybe going into Sunday made us think, oh, actually, maybe a bit of a tougher task than first initially thought.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, looking at this Peterborough game, this was almost like a must-win for us in a way, because we needed to sort of stamp our mark on this season and show that we can beat some of the bigger teams, and obviously Peterborough have started off really well. Obviously, we took the lead in this game, so that was a good sign. 14 minutes in, and Ethan Hare stood up and got a goal, so that was quite promising. And yeah, for me, this game, I can't remember how we predicted it, but I'm sure most of us, other than I think, did one of us predict Seahawks to win?
I think I always back to Peterborough.
I always go heart, but this week, because of the standings, I went head, and I went for Peterborough.
Yeah, so obviously we thought it might have only gone one way, but showed some good signs to begin with. Just what meant to be in the end. So the result was 4-3 to Peterborough Phantoms. We didn't watch it because we was out at a charity event, but we was all keeping updated with the scores. So we was had our phones slightly under the table seeing what was happening, but by the looks of it, it was a bit of a tough battle. We managed to go, was it 2 goals down at one point after being 1-0 up, and then get one right towards the end, but fortunately it wasn't enough to take it into overtime, where we could have maybe snuck a point away from them. But yeah, it's a tough one, but overall a relatively decent performance, showing signs of improvement. So I'm
really just wanting to bite back on this, because you was right what you said about, it was sort of a must win, and we need to sort of stamp our, how we're going to play, are we going to win games on the season. I just feel like we're oh yeah, we only lost by 1 goal. We're still in it against big teams, but it isn't good enough. It's alright being 1 goal in it, but you're still losing at the end of the day. And at some point you've got to turn those losses into wins. So yeah, fair enough, we lost by 1 goal. We've done it against, I think it's Swindon, we had a close one against Sheffield as well at the beginning of the season. But for me, it's just becoming sort of not good enough. You've had those sort of early weeks where you think, alright, we're getting into it now, Leeds started quite poorly, we'll say, and now they're turning it around. So at some point you've got to start looking and think, when are we going to do that?
Yeah, it needs to be quick before you start getting left behind. I mean, we was having a chat, weren't we, was it yesterday, about the distance between where we are in the table and where Swindon are in first position, and it already seems quite a lot. So I get what you mean. We're going to have to find something soon, and it needs to be soon. But I don't know how that happens, or if that happens overnight. I think you've got to try and take these games by the scruff of the neck and make it difficult for them, which it looks we did to a certain degree, but ultimately Peterborough showing why they are.
I don't think there's anything glaringly obvious though that stands out where I can go, that's where we're missing. When we've watched us at home, we don't play bad. We're offensive. We're getting shots away. The defence looks a heck of a lot better than it has done. I don't know what it is. Why we just not. I don't know. We always said last season the defence is letting us down. We're better defensively this season, but we're just not beating teams, and I don't get it.
And to be fair, Matty said about the depth, and we have got more depth now. Like you look across the stats for all the players, and there are variation of people coming up with goals and assists.
Goals up every
week. So that's clearly working. It's just we can't seem to get over the line.
One thing I've noticed as well when we're going away to these games, like Swindon as well, for example, we're going up as well. Like this game we went 1-0 up, Swindon 2-0 up, and to come out the other side must be so frustrating for all those. And for us as fans, obviously we want to see the Seahawks in a good position in the league. So when we are coming out, like you're checking your phone, it's this looks promising. Or they're drawing it up, it's a little bit nervy and stuff. You just want them to take it into that next gear, and obviously we can talk about the Sunday game and stuff, which was a little bit different. But I think to be right up there, which is especially where Matty and everybody wants to be, you need to be going away and getting these victories. Peterborough, let's be frank and let's be fair, is a really tough place to go. They know how to win in their own rink.
But a lot of places are like that though.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the point I was going to make. But this league, this season, we can't really rely on the fact that it's quite tough to go away because every team's improved. Every team's got 4 imports now. Every team looks like they've got 3 or definitely 3, but a lot of them have got 4 lines, getting younger lads and stuff like that in. So we can't really rest on our laurels and sort of be like, that Saturday game might be a tough one, so we'll discard that one, but then we'll win at home. I think there comes a time, don't there, where you need to be picking up those victories away. And what are we now? We're nearly 10 games into the season, aren't we? And it is a hell of a long season, but I'm sure Matty and the boys will be wanting to pick up these away victories sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I agree with you. To a degree, because obviously at some point you have got to turn them lost into victories, and we've said how much we seem to struggle playing away and taking points from teams, but that is the difference in it. You look at these other big teams like your Peterborough, like your Swindon, and they'll go away and they'll take points from you, whereas we just don't really seem to have that ability, so it's a little bit frustrating. I just wanted to have a look at the team stats on the night.
That shots on goal one is
crazy,
disgusting.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
Their defensive unit must have had a great night that night. 62 shots in favour for the Seahawks. But I think that shows, doesn't it, they are at it, and it's a really frustrating one. It must be such a, as a obviously we don't know what it's like to be a manager in this situation, but can you imagine, Matty must be racking his brain thinking, we're having 62 shots on a night, how has it not fallen our way?
Yeah, and that is a good point, because you said earlier about when we were watching the team, they seem to be alright, and our defence do seem like, I don't know, we've got some good larkers in that team, and there's just something that's not falling our way at the moment. If Peterborough having 29 shots and coming away with 4 goals, and we've doubled that and come away with 3, it's more than doubled it, come away with 3. Something's not right there, and you would have to point it more towards the defence than the attacking. Looking at that, because I don't think the attacking is a problem. We've got
you say that, but when you look at the attacking side, is it the defensive side of the attacking? So it's alright getting shots off, but then are we not getting our forwards back to cover, and we're just leaving our defensemen 3-on-2?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, is because when you look at it, when you watch them on the night, they all seem more than capable, and we've got some good defensemen in there.
Yeah.
So I can't quite I couldn't say, it's in.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. There's nothing glaringly obvious where I'm he's the problem, or that line's the problem. There's just nothing, when you're watching, you don't just go, The only thing I would say, notice in the past few weeks, is that in a few past home games, we have this stagnant sort of 10-15 minutes in a game, and I don't know if you both noticed it.
Yeah.
And I think it was especially the weekend before, I can't remember who he was against.
Last week?
Yeah. At home, who did we have? It was a decent side one. Yeah.
So MK before that one.
But like, it was just, the MK was a good one where we were just, the pucks just sort of like kept going around in a circle on the ice, and nobody was really doing anything, like, you know what I mean? And it's sort of like...
trying to get a grip to it, like...
Yeah. And I think we'll come into it on the Sunday game, because I think that was a massive part of Sunday's game, the first period, where we were just sort of like running around sort of like idiots, instead of just taking that hold of the game. I don't know, I just found that a bit of an interesting thing to have seen to start the season.
Yeah, it's an head scratcher for me. I don't really know where it is. I mean, obviously Matty's doing this thing at the moment where our netties are fighting for position, and arguably they both deserve it. They're both playing well, but you know, is that part of a problem? Is the fact that you're not giving somebody?
I don't know.
You know, you're not having a clear distinction between a number one and a number two.
I wouldn't say so though. Geordie's been playing really well, but look at like Deemer on the Sunday night. If anything, it pushed him on. And we'll get into the result earlier. And how disappointed was he when he conceded that goal? So he had a worldie as well, didn't he? And that'll spare next week on. Like, we can't deny Jordan just got Player of the Month, didn't we? So I think it pushed each other on. Like, I know what you're saying. It's just really hard to identify like what it is, and is it just other teams getting better?
I don't know.
But then we've got to get better than we.
Absolutely, you know what I mean? that's the formula to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But like,
I think it's other teams' ability to control the game when they get it by the scruff of the neck, because they have the ability to, but then they control it. For us, it seems to be that thing of like, you get ahead and you don't really capitalise on it. We get ahead and we just sort of waiting for the goal. We're waiting for something to...
We're not good in the trenches, are we? If you know what I'm trying to
almost
say. When it really gets horrible and you just think, you don't need to do anything like flashier. Just defend well and sort of absorb the pressure. And I watch us and you just sometimes think, it's coming, any minute now. And then, oh, there it is. Yeah, nice one.
I'd love to know what the lads are thinking, and what, more importantly, what Matt is thinking about it, because like, obviously we're watching it and struggling to put something to it to see what it is.
At what point do you think I need to change something?
Yeah, and what do you change from the inside looking at it?
It'd have been nice, wouldn't it, to have had his thoughts on the game, but there was no upload last night. We obviously had to shoot off after the game, but obviously we heard what Jambo had to say, and he said like it was a tough game on the Saturday night. But I would like to have heard what Matty said. And obviously he probably did an interview on the night, but it's just interesting that the interview didn't go up for us to comment on it. But
I just wonder, because
I would like to hear from. I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, I'd like to hear what he has to say.
It's a difficult task. Like, if we're looking at it and thinking, well, there isn't anything glaringly obvious, and him on the inside's looking at it thinking, we've got the depth, which is what we needed. Our goalies are performing.
It just depends what's happening in the training sessions during the week. Like, we could see a whole different team.
Yeah.
But as you know, we've played sports. You've seen like people. We've said it loads of times playing football. Somebody looks class when you're like in training on like a Tuesday night, but then they're a completely different player come the weekend. Is that a part of it? Is somebody looking absolutely ridiculous and he's like, oh, hey, here we go, then he's going to rack up this weekend, and then he just goes to the game?
Yeah.
You don't know if it's a bit of that. You never know, do you?
I mean, you look at our league position, but currently our goal difference is better than it was last season. So it's like they've put something right, but it's going wrong. Who knows why? I mean,
we can't. Yeah, that is true. Like the aim this year was for depth, and every night we're getting a goal from the third line or fourth line, and our second line are always scoring. Bones and Cornel and Stellard, or whatever combination of a couple of it is Cali as well. And obviously the first line, it's a given that they're going to get a goal on the night, isn't it? But then you're just not getting the 2 points. It
is very odd. The only thing I can think is that we lacking that ability to just grab a game. When grab a game and control it when we are ahead, because we have the firepower to do it.
Is that what the likes of like Barmer and people like that did though for us? I know when Barmer was here, I know he's not with us anymore and stuff like that, and I don't want to rustle any feathers by mentioning him, but like he was a bit of a presence, wasn't he? But then he was sort of also in the team when we conceded quite a few goals, weren't we? So it's really hard. Like Brock, for example, like when we had Brock Bartholomew, he was a really strong character, and he like would control situations. I'm going to get on here and I'm going to do it, but you can't even say that. I'm saying that about defensemen, but our defence is tightened up. It's honestly like
I don't know. It's like I think Solway is the only time I've seen it where like we had that sort of mad 5-10 minutes where we just goal, restart, possession, goal, and it's sort of like that
ruthlessness.
Yeah, we have those spells where we've got pure energy, and it's sort of like right, we've scored. Do it again. Just be ruthless. I don't care if you go put 10 by your team. Don't let off the gas and think, oh, we're in control. No, go put them to bed early. I don't care if in the first period we go 7-0 and then we don't see another goal. Because then you're managing the game. You're being clever, aren't you? And it's just, I don't know. Sometimes we just lack a bit of ruthlessness.
And our young lads are solid as well. You know, we're
some killers.
Like you say, we're not looking at a line and thinking, ooh, this is where we can concede. We don't have that now.
No,
it's just crazy. I mean, when we figure it out, we'll come back to it.
If anyone knows.
If anyone's seen something that we're not, then
all opinions are our own.
But okay then, so we'll move on to the Sunday game at home. Romford Raiders, so we'll mention it now and we'll talk about it once we get to the results, but Romford beat Telford on the Saturday night, which was a real eyebrow raiser and a sort of a, whoa, what's happening here? And there was missing a couple of their imports on the night as well against Telford, so that made it even more of a, oh, hang on a minute, what we're going to be up against on Sunday. But anyway, it all just went to pot really for Romford. There was about 7 players missing. They looked great in the first period.
Was
high energy.
Solid.
We didn't look like we could score past them. And then it sort of looked like the legs went a bit and Seahawks sort of ran with the game.
I think that's exactly what it was. You know, we didn't. Well, it was deadlock, wasn't it, until the second period. So I think that's exactly what happened. Is they just ran out of steam, and you know when they got the chances, they was struggling with it. So obviously like you said, you got to know that they was missing about 7 players, so extremely.
I don't know if that's like
they looked short as well. When you look at the bench and they look like they've got like 5 or 6 lads on the bench, it's like
I don't want to be like real negative and just be like, oh yeah, it's pretty much a gimme for Seahawks at that point. If we hadn't have won when they're missing that many players, it's been like a real poor result. You know, you only play what's in front of you. If they didn't turn up with a full squad, then that's not us problem in it. We put them to the sword.
Definitely. I mean, 6-1.
In the 6-1 was.
And in the sense of the first period, we did go at them. Like you had to go at them, didn't you? But their netminder, Cole. I don't want to say the last name because I will butcher it. We've been saying Ceci, haven't we? But some people say Cece, whatever. He looked a joke in the first period.
He was cracked.
He was really. That's exactly the word. He was cracked. Like there was just some saves coming at him and showing. And what? It was just like, what?
Some stuff you had no right to be anywhere near.
It was ridiculous, wasn't it?
And these slap shots, he was just it made
holding it as well. Like it was crazy. I think you could see on some of our lads' face and being like,
we're in for a night.
How are we going to get this past him? But the second period came along, boys, and it was a big difference.
What we've just been saying there with the Peterborough game, where we've lacked control, it was the complete opposite, where we penned him in for long periods, going into that second period, where you could see even there was just like icing it just to like get a 10-second breather because they just couldn't get out. It looked like we was on the power play for a lot of the time.
It did definitely, and obviously we'll take the positives with that, but we do know that they were short bench, so we was always, especially between the three of us, a little bit reserved of like, but are we seeing the real Romford now, or is this just that we're overpowering us because we've got the legs? And it's a difficult one, but we took it. I mean, again, just talking about the depth we had, you look across the score sheet and you've got a number of players putting up points, which is great. Johnny Corneal, by the way, can I just say what a player he's been so far this season?
Just hasn't got the goals or assists really. I know he's picked up a few in the past couple of weeks, but his effort is.
If there was like a match of the day for our league, everyone would rave up Johnny Corneal. And they don't, because he ain't this one that was getting 5 points a game, but
he does some solid work, doesn't he?
So good.
And he can hit as well.
I
think that's
finishes his hits every time.
I think that's an area of his game that is severely overlooked by a lot of people, but he can certainly hit. And
a bit like Bonner. Where Bonner can go sometimes where like he doesn't get goals and assists, but he'll just absolutely rattle someone. He's just like, that's enough for me.
But if I'm not going to score, I'm not going to assist. I'm going to try and take one of their players out. I'm going to try and do it.
It's in the back of that player's head you know, is he on the ice with me? Because if he comes at me again, I can't fancy him being rattled by it.
100%.
And if you've got 2 or 3 players that are doing that, like even one on each line, the opposition are just thinking, I ain't going out against that line because I'm not getting battered.
Especially in import as well, which are usually like quite the fancy.
If you turn into
ramming into you, you'd be like, oh, give it a rest. But no, fair play to him. A couple more as well. Owen Brooks getting his first goal of the season. That one, it's big for him, that, isn't it?
We've said, like, you know, he's been sort of just missing something this season. And yeah, the goal was massive for him, and I hope it sort of pushes him forward now and he gets a bit more confident. And take a few more shots and get a few more goals.
He's a solid player, and I think, you know, he's got the ability, hasn't he, to go further with it. It's, like you say, as it's just been a bit of a slow start for him, and hopefully this is just the start of him putting, you know, goals in and getting assists. And he obviously dropped a line, didn't he, this game, so probably had a bit of fire in his belly, thinking, I need to
get back on that
get back on that.
Yeah. Swapped with the Bow Under.
So
let's talk about that kid. Third line.
I think it's a bit of a weird one because the sort of last 2 players we want to talk about, one's on one end of the age scale and one's on the other side of the age scale. So the first one being Jason Hewitt, who we thought he was class on the night, wasn't he?
He was really good, wasn't he?
Really up for it seemed. And
another one of those where, again, if you're not watching everyone knows who he is now and what he's done in the past, but another one where when we didn't have him for that couple of weeks, we really missed him.
Absolutely.
And tonight and last night he just showed again what he could do, especially when he swapped onto first line as well. When he was linking up with Svek and Bobby, he looked really good.
Just sees the game differently. Like you can see the experience and years in the game. You can see he just sees things
and that
slightly
link
quicker.
Between him and Bobby when we scored that goal.
Amazing. Last goal. Oh.
Yeah, fantastic.
Not last goal. Second to last.
Naughty.
It was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But that was really nice. But yeah, I'm really pleased he's back and. He took a bit of a whack to the face, didn't he, in the first period as well? That was nasty, wasn't it?
A bit of a naughty one.
Just holding on to his tooth, looking at the ref as if to be like, come on then. But I think that spared him on a little bit, mate. You know, just like, right, I've got something in my belly now. I'm putting it in now. But absolutely fair play to Huey. He had a class game, didn't he?
And then the main man on the night, the youngster Bo Reader.
Can we just talk about Bo Reader? Because 3-4 weeks ago, this kid was like, you have 3 or 4 lines, don't you? And you have like maybe 1 spare. This was Bo. Because we had obviously the boys from Manchester and stuff like that. Bo was coming, getting some ice time, getting a few shifts. Everyone, hey, here he is, this new lad who's just turned 16 a couple of months ago, by the way. And over the course of the last couple of weeks, he's got himself onto 4th line. And then last night it was 3rd line. And he just keeps getting better and better and better every week, doesn't he?
Yeah. And he's had a mega weekend. I mean, he got his first goal last night, and then straight away, not long after, goes and gets his second goal of the night. And he's a pleasure to watch. And we had the pleasure of chatting to him before the season started when we'd heard his name a bit, and it was only a casual little chat, but we'd heard good things, and he's certainly living up to it so far. I think there's going to be teams out there watching him, and for his age, like if he's picking up points in this league. That age, who knows what he can go and do. I think he just needs to keep his ear to the ground, keep lining off some of our better players, experienced players, and he could turn into something special.
Definitely seems the kind of kid to do that, doesn't he? Like when we met him, he was really polite. He seemed like a nice kid and stuff like that.
Humble,
you can imagine that he'll be like listening to the likes of Bobby and Huey and people like that in training all the time, and Matty obviously telling him what he wants. And without revealing too much, we know he told us, didn't he? Like we won't go into the details, but he had some good offers this summer, which he's turned down to stay in Hull and do a 2-way with Seahawks and Jets. So absolutely fair play to him. I think he's great. That.
And we said before we started filming, like imagine as a kid at that age and you're getting 2 assists from like probably Hull's best player and the player who scored the most points in the season last year, and he's set you up twice.
Unreal.
And his second one where Sobchak went on goal and then sort of like did a little pirouette backhand pass, and it was an open goal for Bo. You just like,
I mean, that's just That's normal for Sobchak. Like, let's be honest, that's normal for him, but that was special, wasn't it?
Like, we nearly knotted our chairs.
It was almost like an unnecessary sort of like assist. He could have just passed it across him. It was just like, no, I'm gonna add a bit of flair.
It's a roulette.
Woohoo! But yeah, it must have been classed as like a young kid to, I don't want to say like hero because like it's maybe a bit, but a good player, great standard, and somebody obviously who was on the mouth of everybody in the league, Sobchak, and for him to be setting you up at that age is class, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, solid.
What more do you want? So we'll finish it up there then, fellas. 1 win, 1 loss. I know you'll say we was close on the Saturday. I'd rather say
not close enough.
Yeah,
2 points lost, 2.
Yeah.
Like that,
yeah. So yeah, but wins. I think the only thing I just want to throw into there now is: would you start panicking now as a Seahawks fan?
It's
player?
certainly setting in.
Or is it next weekend? I think we've got Bristol Pitbulls and who else did we have? Bison.
Yeah.
2 games at face value. You think Seahawks should win both? If we didn't, or we only win 1, is that the benchmark where we say something needs to change?
I think it's setting in now to a degree, just because the margin's moving. But yeah, if we go this weekend without picking up 4 points, I think there's going to be real problems on the horizon. So we'll see and hope.
What do you think?
For me, we need to turn a corner. I think Romford was a good start. It was probably a game that we needed as a team. You know, just to get some confidence behind you. But we said the same about Solway last week. And there was an opportunity this weekend to get that corner, get them wheels moving. I'm with you there, Brad. I just don't want us to be left behind. We might start getting some good form, and hopefully this weekend it's 4 points. But the rest of the people that we thought would be up the league, I've probably already started doing that a couple of weeks ago. So we need to get that form built now. So I don't know whether it's time to worry, but I don't know whether it's not going to be smooth sailing. Let's put it that way. I think it's going to be more tricky than we think. What do you reckon, Az?
I think it almost is panic stations for me personally. I think the gap towards the top of the tables is growing. I think it's 10. So that's 5 wins now.
Yeah, and Swindon.
And that's people are saying it's only 5 games and we're early in the season, but you're asking them to lose 5 times and all the other good teams to not really win. I think we're already too far behind, in my opinion.
I that's what I mean. I think it's setting in now, panic stations, but this weekend's a must, isn't it?
I think it's one of those where it depends where you see Seahawks in the table. Obviously I predicted us to finish 5th, so that isn't too far away, but I know you lads was thinking 2nd, 3rd. Matty's always said we'll be challenging for the title, and we're not there. So something has to change, in my opinion.
I think that's a fair enough comment as well. We are there.
No.
But I think you've got to be really looking through rose-tinted glasses if you still think that Seahawks going to be challenging for the title, unless something really dramatic changes.
I'm hoping last season we seemed to start off really well and then we took a bit of a dip. I'm hoping it's the opposite this season. We're just trying to find a bit of momentum, and you sort of go through that controversy before, and then the rest of the season's just up and up and up.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
I think for me at the minute, maybe the league's getting away from us, but it's the cup games I'm more worried about. I'd really like for us to get towards them sort of knockout games in the cup.
Yeah.
I think we said going into the start of the season, if we didn't get a league title, a cup, and then the playoffs, realistically is where we should be looking. But we're just sort of falling away on both. That's my concern.
Shall we?
We'll leave it there. I'm sure a few Seahawks fans and Seahawks players and management will be on to us for sort of slandering the club there, and
I won't say it was slander.
being honest.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a negative outlook. We're just observing, aren't we? And again, it's our opinion, but let's just wholeheartedly say again, as always, no one wants Seahawks to do better than us.
Yeah.
As well, obviously themselves, but we all want Seahawks to do well. We're season pass holders. We'll follow them home and away. Well, when we can, obviously, and we all want Seahawks to do well, don't we? We're just making observations based on what we see. If anyone has any different views, we always welcome them, don't we? With open arms. And that's what they are. They're our views.
And they might be a bit raw, but it is because we're so emotionally invested in it.
Yeah, I think you said it before we started filming. We are die-hard fans. It's life and death for us, basically. This is our team. We want to succeed. We want to be the best. I know you're going to have losses along the road, but it's how do you be the best? We're still having those bad times. And we just seem to be bad at the minute.
and we're not saying we could get on the ice and do any better.
I don't know. I think I'd love to go and just lever someone and get her off. I'm that, so you get me back on that bench, I'll be over the wall. Right then, lads, we'll leave it there. We'll move on to the rest of the league and the results for the weekend. So, we'll leave it there. So now we're going to look at the results from the past weekend. As we mentioned throughout the episode so far, there's some big scores, some sort of weird results, and we'll jump straight into it. So, Saturday, the 11th of October, first game on the night was Romford Raiders, Telford Tigers at Romford. And this one was, we all predicted wrong on this one straight away. So, Romford coming out 5-3 against Telford. Romford missing a couple of imports, but still getting the job done. I think this is a bit of an interesting one. I'd like to, if any fans was there, to see what actually happened here, because Telford have been that dominant lately. I don't know. I'd just love to know how Romford got the job done.
Well, Telford's head coach came out, didn't he, and said they got what they deserved, basically. So I think that said testament to how he probably thought they played. But yeah, this was probably the oddest result of the weekend that we was expecting.
We know Cece had a blinder in goal. We saw glimpses of that when he was against Hull. So, but yeah, massive unexpected result that, and fair play to Romford.
No Lasham, no problem. I saw that on Twitter and I was like, that's gold, that. It's true, isn't it?
Really poor pre-season, and we was all sort of like, oh, they could be in trouble this season, Romford.
Without sounding harsh, I think we all put them bottom, didn't we? Bottom of the league, and obviously we have some
good results like that,
don't we?
Fair play.
Yeah, it's a good, especially against Telford, we're up there.
Yeah.
Massive result, that.
Second game on the night, Swindon Wildcats hosted the Sheffield Steel Dogs. 5-2 for Swindon. I think I did go for Swindon with this.
I think I've got to be in close with this one.
This is a harder game than it looks on paper, this. And actually, I think the result is really, really positive for Swindon. 5-2. They've had these tests over the last couple of weeks, haven't they, of decent teams. Everyone's a decent team, obviously, but Sheffield's one that's a potential banana skin, isn't it? And to come out with the score that they did is really good.
We say that, but it only really seems to be a banana skin for us.
It's not a banana skin, we just lose.
All right, lads.
No, I think we probably predicted it might be a bit closer, or I did. And I've said in the past couple of weeks that Swindon have sort of as we've not done against big teams, where they've just edged it by 1 goal. Yeah. And then they've had these couple of results where they've just sort of battered a team, and they're starting to now not just see a game through, they're really, emphatic.
Yeah, sort of stamping their authority on the league.
Yeah, and I think that's, that's championship mentality right there.
Team,
yeah, absolutely. Hosting or going away to big teams and getting results is what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Next fixture, Bristol Pitbulls hosting the Basingstoke Bison. So, really interesting on this, and we was a bit, who's done what? Yeah, I think I did go for the Bison. I think you maybe did.
Yeah, I think we all went Bison, from memory. I think they're just building a bit of form now, aren't they? And they're Did I not?
I think you went for Bristol.
Did I?
We'll get into that in a little bit. No, don't worry about that.
I can go with Basingstoke.
To be fair though, to your point, we looked at the stats for this, and we'll get into Team of the Week in a little bit. The amount of shots Bristol put on Basingstoke in this game was a joke. So somebody, naming no names, has had an absolute weldy of a game. And for Basingstoke to come out the other end 5-2 is a massive result for them. And they've had a positive start to the year, haven't they? I know they've been a bit slowed down by their home rink and stuff, but
they haven't played many games. I think this was only their second game of the season.
Yeah.
But from what we saw in the first game, and they also played Swindon at some point in pre-season, I think, as well, and beat them.
Yeah.
And it was almost that sort of thing, we're just waiting to see what Basingstoke have got about them. And obviously what we'd seen initially is the reason why we've sort of backed them, or we backed them.
Yeah. Well, we all backed them.
I'm intrigued, like you say. Obviously, they're meant to be coming to, to Hull.
I'm sure. I want to go on a limb and say that Basingstoke didn't lose in pre-season. I'm sure they did a double over Telford. So and now Telford have gone over this. I might be completely wrong, and people might be laughing now, but I think they did.
No, I think they did give them a good game at least, and like you said, they did beat Swindon.
Yeah, and it's
no
a positive start. No, definitely not. And you know what? For these guys, I feel like these have gone under the radar a little bit. But they've just got a core of solid players. Wilstead, you've got Moggy and people like that, and Norcliffe, and all these proper just know the league, know how to do it. Gonna muck in and get those results, and that's a prime example of it, isn't it? Yeah. Good result that.
So the first of the biggest games of the weekend, Milton Keynes Lightning hosting Leeds Knights. And we've all guessed this massively wrong.
Wow.
We'd all, Milton Keynes at home, Milton Keynes at
home. What did we say in the car on the way to Hull yesterday?
I can't remember.
We were saying, why why did we all just like look completely past Leeds? Why did we do it?
Because it's been a terrible start to the season. Well, I say terrible.
Well, they lost the first 2 games, and then they've gone like this ever since, haven't they? But wow, this is a massive result.
You see what's in front of you though, don't you, when you predict based on the results you've seen. So
sometimes you just never know on a night. Yeah, you just have these nights where it just all goes right.
You can't take away the credit from Leeds here. They've gone to the hardest place in the league to play at MK with 2,000 fans, and they've beat them significantly as well. It's not a 3-2 empty net goal, is it? Like they've really done a job on them, and I love the circumstances around this because first period they're already 2 D men down, weren't they? Then they lost their import D, so the Banes had to step up in defence, and they've still come out 5-2. I think that's brilliant.
I think this is one I was keeping an eye on when we was at the the party on the Saturday. And I remember saying to both of you, I think Milton Keynes' first goal was a penalty shot, and then the 2 first goals for Leeds was a short-handed and a power play goal. So there was no actual just open game goals to start with forever. But can you imagine until Milton Keynes got that second goal? Leeds have gone there, and Milton Keynes can't score past them unless it was a penalty shot. Can you imagine sat there? You were just like, what's going on here? Why can we not score by him? But to win that 5-2 is a madness.
Can you imagine being on the Leeds bus on the way home?
Yeah. Them a Slapshot boys.
I bet they had the song tunes on, a couple of beers. I bet they were loving it, don't you?
I'd have loved it if this was a double header.
It'd
have been interesting to see how it would flip the next night.
Flipped, definitely, because they've had a fire up their backside, wouldn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And then the final fixture on the Saturday, Peterborough Phantoms hosting Hull Seahawks. Peterborough taking it 4-3. I don't think we need to say
no,
we've covered that, haven't we? So we'll move on to the Sunday games, 12th of October. First game on the night, Sheffield Steel Dogs hosted Milton Keynes Lightning. A 0-point weekend, 1 point weekend for the Milton Keynes Lightning.
They've had a whoopsie this weekend, haven't
they? A lot of their fans are steaming, mate. They're asking for changes already.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a few. I don't want to mention any names.
Really?
But a few of them are just like, this isn't good enough. A 1 point weekend is pretty much as good as a 0 point weekend. Something needs to change. We just don't look good at all.
And we get stick for,
some of these fans were brutal, just straight away, just needs to be better. If we're chasing titles, this needs to be better. Yeah, and like I say,
I'm sure Tim Wallace would have held them to account as well. Tim will have been fuming, won't he? You know what he's like? They win 3-0 and he's like, it's terrible.
Yeah,
you can imagine what it's like after this guy.
Against Leeds, it's one of those where you can have a win or you don't. But I'd imagine that he thought the same as what we did. Leeds do not come here and they don't do that to us.
Yeah.
It's bad enough getting beat, but when they've done that,
we know they're a good team, but it's not an excuse.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, credit to the Steel Dogs as well. I think CJ Garcia got man of the match in this game, so that obviously shows how well the defence have done. But they're no slouches, Sheffield. I don't want them to fall into the category. I'm going to say it, but I feel like they fall into habits of last season where they have a good team, but they also have the ability to have an off weekend, and you can't have too many of those off weekends because then you start falling away from the pack.
5th, 7th sort of place when you start going like this.
And that team, that project, the way they've been hyping it up in pre-season, they can't be afforded to do with that.
But I'm sure, I remember you saying, but Milton Keynes was sort of lucky to get to overtime. Really late to actually equalise.
Very late on, I'm sure it was 59 minutes or something.
Yeah, and then obviously Sheffield then won it in overtime.
Fair play though, because easily you could be like, oh, we've got a point here.
Yeah.
I mean, a point might be something in the end of the season where we look back and go, that point, sneaking that last goal at 59 minutes, it might turn out to be something. I guess we won't know until later in the year, but yeah, not a great weekend for Milton Keynes, but I wouldn't go to panic station straight away. I mean, God help if those fans were supporting Seahawks. They'll be asking for the head of Matty Davis at this point, wouldn't they? It's a bit of madness, that one.
Trust the process.
Yeah, like you say, Steel Dogs are a bit of a mixed bag. You don't know what you're going to get. Yeah. And unfortunately, they got the better side of Steel Dogs. Next fixture, Basingstoke Bison at home. So the first game at their home ice against the Swindon Wildcats. Swindon took it 2-0. But I do want to say, again, I kept an eye on this one, and it was 0-0 up to even during the third period.
50th minute.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a fair crack
Absolutely.
to keep Swindon at bay for 50 minutes.
Probably pull the keeper job.
They did pull the keeper, and the second goal was empty net. So for it to go that distance, I think it was the 58th minute or something when they pulled their keeper. That's no bad job that against Swindon. They've made it really hard for them, obviously.
Yeah. Fair play to Bison, because they seem to be able to make it hard for Swindon, where other teams don't. And I think they're putting a solid performance there. I mean, I know that it was the first game at home, so there was going to be a bit of an atmosphere there, and arguably Swindon was walking into sort of a coliseum, weren't they?
Yeah.
But for Swindon to come away 2-0 is almost credit to Bison.
Yeah, like you said, what was it? Bison's third game of the season. Yeah. Swindon have played 8-9 at this point. They've already got momentum going. Definitely. You know, a cold Bison, and they've really pushed them to the end. I mean, fair crack to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big result that, despite losing. Leeds Knights hosting Solway Sharks. Leeds taking it 6-2. Bit more convincing after a stuttering start. 4-point weekend, dispatching MK Lightning in quite easy fashion, we'll say, looking at the scoreline, and then Solway still struggling a little bit.
Solway's the only game of the weekend as well, so I feel like they'd have fancied it a little bit more, which is a shame. Because look what they did last week against Sheffield, that came up and got a real big win, didn't they?
I think after Leeds getting the points from MK on Saturday, there was no way they was going to lose on the Sunday. No way.
Yeah, that's probably one of the worst teams you want to play after a big win. Because they'll have all been like, the tails will have been up, they'll have been like, let's go and have a party.
Well, it's the thing is like, you have to capitalise on them wins.
Yeah,
and the way to capitalise on beating MK is to go and pick up 2 points the next day.
Yeah,
definitely.
So if you don't, then you've almost wasted your opportunity.
It's a shame for Solway, but again, massive credit to Leeds, who are at full strength as well. Let's give them their credit as well. They're not at full strength, and there's people here, there, and everywhere saying, "Oh, well, this is the factor. This is a factor." They're still doing it.
It's that know-how, as we've spoken about before. That's coming through a bit now, innit? Where they're just now to get a result, get a game won.
Big players, big moments.
Leeds are doing that after stuttering.
Let's go on to the highest result of the weekend.
Hull Seahawks 6, Romford Raiders 1. As we've already covered.
Needed a big win.
Needed a win, got a win. Maybe a bit of a gimme with Romford, losing bodies.
But it's a win. Yeah, exactly.
Take it and move on. And the final fixture on the Sunday, Telford Tigers against Peterborough Phantoms. Telford taking it 4-1. So obviously a difficult game on the Saturday, but still winning for Peterborough.
Interesting one.
I am not looking forward to facing Telford at home.
I agree.
Bogey team for us at the best of times.
You know what I mentioned too, then as well on the way to what I was like, we've got an away game in Telford on 28th of December. Do you fancy it? Might not go. Might not go. They're just looking really good, aren't they? Like,
it's not a bad gaff there, as you know.
Is it?
I quite like it.
Is it?
Yeah, you go into like a little shopping area, as I remember it. So I remember we went. It took a while to get there, but it's sort of like arcs round the ice rinks here, and it goes around. There's loads like little shops and eateries and stuff. It's quite a nice, fancy little gaff, and you get
a good meal before a tricky game.
Yeah, but they've recovered quite well after that sort of maybe odd result against Romford. As the coach said, we got what we deserved, and obviously he's given them a bit of a. They've got back at it the next night against a very good Peterborough midweek.
Good reaction, definitely.
Peterborough obviously did Seahawks over.
No pushovers then.
And, there's the proof in the pudding that they're a good side. They've had a slip on the Saturday, but made up for it on the Sunday. Nice. So we'll start looking at the standings once again. It's not looking great for us. We'll start with that, but we'll start from the top. Swindon Wildcats, 8 played, 15 points. They've got a nice 3-point buffer now over Leeds Knights, who have played 8 are on 12 points. Telford in third, 7 played, 11 points. Peterborough fourth, 7 and 10. So you can sort of see those 4 teams that are sort of going to run away with this a little bit and take control. Swindon, as I mentioned there, 3 points clear at the top is a nice little buffer. That's a loss, if you like. And that, I'm sure that will come good for them in the end. 5th place, Sheffield Steel Dogs, 8 played, 9 points. 6th, Milton Keynes, 7 and 9. So you can see how those 1-point weekend has affected them this weekend and have sort of slipped down the standings a little bit. And then there's a bit of a gap now. 7 played, 5 points for Hull Seahawks in 7th. Romford in 8th, 7 played, 5 points. 9th is Bristol Pitbulls, 7 played, 3 points. Basingstoke in 10th, 3 played, 2 points. And Solway Sharks runners up with 7 and 2.
Yeah, we almost need Sheffield and MK Blunder this weekend, don't we? Just and us to get a 4-point weekend just to bring us back in contention for sort of pushing the top 4.
I think we just need to start churning out good points each weekend now. 2-3 points every weekend is a must, isn't it? It's obviously favourable for us to get 4. We need this, but let's look further up the league as well. Telford in 3rd, but they've got a game in hand on Leeds as well, so they could go right back up to 2nd.
But as good as Telford have been, if they win that game in hand, it only puts them on 13, and Swindon would still be 2 points clear.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, that's talking some, how good is Swindon? Telford is like, Telford are doing this, that, and the other. Swindon are still 2 clear, regardless of how. That's a madness. That
definitely.
They are charging.
They're currently the what's the word for them of the league? They are the not staples. I'm trying to think about it.
The epitome at the moment.
They're just the. We want to be like them.
The only team not to lose regular time. They've only lost in overtime. So it's still a decent record from to hold at the minute, which is really good. Going back to Seahawks, those 2 points against Romford was massive because otherwise we'd have been still on the same points as Bristol in 9th. So, a good couple of results for Seahawks. We are looking towards this coming weekend where, we should, we need to win. It needs to be a 4-point weekend.
2 teams below us, we need to, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Worrying times for Bristol?
It's an interesting one.
Worrying times for us, it must be worrying times for them.
I'm intrigued to see, how we play against them. As weird as it sounds, and it'd be even better if it was Bristol at home, so we could see it in person, see what they're actually putting together. Because they're like the money team this season. They've got some real larkers down there, but it isn't working, is it?
Not at the moment.
But like I said last week, is this a long-term project for Bristol? They are doing bad this season, but is it almost sort of
it's like a rebuild and let's try and get it right.
Rome wasn't built in a day and all that.
See that.
Anyone else on that, do you think?
I think, the teams that we're expecting are thereabouts. Milton Keynes in 6th is a bit of an odd one at the minute, but I think there wouldn't be in 6th if it wasn't for, Sheffield looking good this season, despite a few, drops in performances. Peterborough is one of those teams that are going to be good. Telford excelling, Leeds and Swindon at the top, so a few other teams stepping up this season is what's making MK look quite bad at the minute.
Peterborough 4th in the league's an interesting one, isn't it? That's not one really anyone's really spoken largely about.
We mentioned this
about the business, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly the same thing we said last year though, where there was sort of they overtook Seahawks at the end of last season, and you just sort of oh yeah, Peterborough won again. But you got to look at the big picture. They're just a consistent team. So should we look at the standings for the cup then and see how that's looking?
Okay. Do you want me to go through this one?
Yeah, I'll let you go.
Okay, so we've got Swindon Wildcats in 1st. They've played 4 on 7 points. Milton Keynes Lightning in 2nd. 5 played 7 points. Telford Tigers in 3rd. 5 played 7 points. Peterborough Phantoms in 4th. 4 played 6 points. Sheffield Steel Dogs in 5th. 5 played 6 points. Hull Seahawks in 6th. 5 played and 5 points. Leeds Knights in 7th, 4 played 4 points. Basingstoke Bison in 8th, 3 played 2 points. Romford Raiders in 9th, 3 played 2 points. Solway Sharks in 10th, 3 played 2 points. And Bristol Pitbulls in 11th, 3 played and 1 point. Quite close, all in all.
I think, as I mentioned in the previous segment, if Hull Seahawks aren't going to be in for the league title, then they need a cup run and playoffs, and they're still in there. They still can make those
1 point off the top 4.
Yeah, and they're still there to make it sort of turn around, so we could be in a knockout phase of the cup. I think that they need that at this point. Just right, lads, we're in the knockout. This is where we now need to peak.
Would that spearheaded charge for the rest of the season as well?
As we mentioned last week, Leeds are still a bit further down. So if you could knock Leeds out of the knockout games, that's a big team to be gone. I mean, the other teams that are in those knockout places are still big heavy hitters this season. But
until these teams are starting to play the same amount of games, you're only then really going to get
a true
an eye for it, I think.
Yeah, I think, the cup is sort of reflecting what the league's looking like at the minute. Those that are in the top four are thereabouts, give or take. Milton Keynes a second here, where there was sixth in the league, but shaping up nicely.
Should we get on to the interesting stuff?
Let's get on to the interesting stuff then, shall we? We'll get into our team of the week. So now we're going to look at our main men of the week, the team of the week. Wasn't the most difficult this week, was it? But there's some interesting includees on this one. I'll start off. Netminder, I'm a big advocate of his. I really liked him when he played for the Bees last season. And it is Max Wright. Quality goalie. When we did see him a few times last season, this guy, was a real wall at times, wasn't he? He won games and was a big part of when Bees was beating the likes of Swindon, MK and Leeds last season in those games. So 96% save average against Bristol on Saturday. 58 shots faced and only conceded 2, which is a joke on its own. But then sort of like bettered it with a 97% save average against Swindon on the Sunday. 44 shots faced and 1 conceded. An overall of 97.14.
Yeah, some weekend.
I mean, that's a joke, that, 90% you're quite happy at, 91%. 95, which is what we've seen like Gozzy get, you're thinking, whoa, that's...
Brilliant.
Yeah.
97.
Yeah.
Madness.
Joke.
Madness.
Yeah, great goalie, I really like him, and not to be disrespectful to Bison, but I thought like a higher up in the league team would have picked him up, to be fair.
But that'll go in their favour. We've just touched on Bison, haven't we, in that last segment, but he'll be a massive player for them this season. And when you've got that good core and your imports are firing and you've got someone like that in goal, there could be one to watch though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so our next player is defenseman from Swindon Wildcats, our friend Ryan Wells. Ryan's had a great weekend. He's got 2 goals and an assist and a man of the match performance versus Sheffield in a 5-2 win. And also he contributed towards the shutout on Sunday away versus Bison, leading them to a 4-point weekend.
Can't complain as a D-man there, can you?
No, solid performer. We've seen him in person as well, haven't we?
Goals.
It's just everything in one weekend. Goals, assists, shutout. That's a good one.
Yeah. We've spoken to a few people as well that said, if you could take any defenseman in your team, it would be Ryan Wells.
A lot of people say he's best in the league, don't they? And that's including Ben O'Connor, who's just one of his mates now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he's pure class, isn't he?
Yeah.
And a very nice guy as well.
Very nice.
Friend of the pod. Next up, we've got an interesting one. So we've got 16-year-old Leeds United defenseman Jonas Bennett. Now, this is an interesting one, and we was all talking amongst it. So, for context, Jonas had to step up against MK because they was missing, I want to say, Griffin, Baldwin, weren't they, before the start of the game? And then their import D-man, I want to say Staudakan, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name again, but he went off in the first period. So this means that Jonas, who's literally, like I say, a 16-year-old lad, probably playing a lot for the Leeds Knights 2 team, ended up going on second line and churning out a massive performance, including a goal. Come on. As a 16-year-old lad, that's
against
unreal.
MK as well.
Against MK, at their barn as well. And then, again, he was back on second line against Solway on the Sunday. Solid performance, helping them to a 5-2 win and a 4-point weekend, boys.
No, I think it's easy just to be like, oh yeah, let's look at stats. But sometimes you've just got to look a bit deeper and just see, these are the futures of teams in the league, in the sport, you know what I mean? You just got to tip your hat and just be like, you've been thrown in the deep end there, kid, and you've come out of it smelling of roses.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely class, that. I love it.
Yeah.
Rate it.
Just that story in itself, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Unreal, that. Loved it.
So we'll move on to the forwards then. I'll go for the centreman, and we're going for Yanni Lackinen of the Peterborough Phantoms. 4 assists over the weekend, 3 on Saturday versus Hull, and then he had 1 versus Telford, an only goal for Peterborough on the night.
He's popping up a little bit, isn't he? Yanni doesn't get as much credit as he deserves, but this is the second time this season he's been in our team of the week, and rightfully so. There's other good contenders in the team, like Luke Ferrara and people like that. He's had a really good week, but you've got to give him credit where it's deserved. I keep going on about his age, and I don't mean it disrespectfully, but 43 years old and still ripping it up in the league.
It's like Huey again, isn't it? Like you say, as much as I've just said about a young lad, you got to tip hat at them, but to be able to continue to do it, at an older age, when the guys who are a bit younger than you are more in the gym, fitter, stronger, you know, you're still mixing it up with them. It's sort of like a different generation of sport now, isn't it?
Yeah.
All sports science and stuff, and yeah, he's still pulling up trees.
Brilliant.
Right, ready for this one, lads? This is a solid performance, and he's one of our own. We got to witness him firsthand on Sunday, and we've seen him, all the start of this season, and he's just come through. It's none other than 16-year-old Bo Reader from the Hull Seahawks. Bo's putting some fantastic performances, coming up with a few points here, there, and everywhere, but he's made his way onto the third line this weekend at Hull Seahawks and chipped in with points in each of his last 3 games. On Sunday, he scored 2 goals against Raiders and got man of the match in the team, and I have to say that the crowd went wild for him. He's got something about him, and love to see it. He also got an assist versus Peterborough on Saturday, which is obviously a really difficult team to go away to and get points there. So fantastic performance. We love to see it. Keep the momentum going, Bo, and you've got 3 fans in us.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And big credit to him when he give Jake Bolton a good levering and all the grass and one big point there.
like throwing a beanbag at a wall.
Poor Jake,
yeah. And then finally, our last forward of Team of the Week. Again, another one who's been in our Team of the Week previously, but someone who's really spearheading his team's charge at the moment is Kieran Brown for the Leeds Knights. Again, boys, another tough weekend for him on the Saturday night, but 1+1 against MK. I think it was a real captain's performance, to be honest, from what I've heard and what we've been told by some fans. And then, again, leading the way again with 2 goals against Solway on the Sunday. Now, there's no one more than us who would like to put different players in and get people involved and stuff, but you just got to give credit where it's deserved. Like 3+1 is absolutely solid, and again, there's probably people like Liam Payton, Balin Pocodsy, people like that, who've chipped in as well for Leeds, and you could go that way, but I just think that Brownie deserves it at the moment, doesn't he? He's doing really well, and correct me if I'm wrong, boys, you said he's second in the league now for statistics, isn't he?
Yeah, points and whatnot.
So that goes without saying. Leeds are going on a real upwards trajectory, I think, and he's definitely a main reason for it.
Probably is the main reason for it.
So
fair
play to him.
Yeah, good to see, obviously, some of the younger of the players in the league getting into the Team of the Week this season, and then the veterans and the big players of the league all moulding into one team, so it's great to see it.
Wouldn't be a bad line, would it?
No, it wouldn't. Congratulations to everybody who's made it to our Team of the Week this week. So now it's probably our most favourite and fun part of the episode, where we reflect on our predictions, see who's done what, this, that and the other, and then we'll get into our predictions for the coming weekend. So boys, let's hold up the cup for the past 2 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. I'll put it there.
How nonchalant is that? Count. I've just won it that many times.
How many weeks has it been now, boys? I must say that I'm not as confident this week. I think it will be staying with somebody else this week. But it'll be interesting to see. So, with that said, I think we'll hand over to you, Rossy, so you can deliver the news.
My favourite part of the week is. Look how excited you are. It's the first one we all mention as well when we get here, like, oh, they got done well this week. Oh, I don't think I've done well this week. So, interesting week this week. Obviously, there was a few shocks around the league, so that has impacted us. I'm not going to lie, we weren't as high scoring as we were last week. Aaron got 11 last week, didn't he? None of us got near that. So I will confirm though, 2 of us got 6 points.
Ooh.
And the other got 7. Right then. I'll also confirm that Brad, you was 1 goal away from getting perfect scores in 2 games this week.
I knew it.
So you've got 1 then?
No. So in 2 games, if he'd have just got 1 goal extra, he'd have got perfect scores, and I got 3. Well, I would have got 3 if there was 1 extra goal.
We were quite close amongst them, weren't we? We were sort of like 5-3, 6-2.
Yeah.
We was all real close to each other. That's
So,
why I was a bit like, ooh, there's some of the close ones.
Got another one.
Go on then.
The winner this week was Rossy!
No way!
Yeah. I got 7 points this week.
Nice.
And you guys was on 6.
Oh.
So that currently puts the leaderboard as me and Brad are back on level terms with
all
24.
the grief he's been giving you.
I know, yeah. Oh, what's it like? What's it like down there? Oh, all this lot. Well, we're back on level terms now. So we've both got 24, but Azza is still in front by 7 points with a very respectable 31.
Nice.
But yeah, interesting one that this week.
So you are the holder of the cup this week.
I'll be taking that home. Thank you very much. I'll be having my cereal in there. Come on.
Quite a good one that then. So what was it? Just the fact that you got the most correct teams winning?
Yeah. So none of us got a perfect score this week. I just guessed one more game than everybody else. But there was quite a few games where, you know, we all missed out. Well, there was 10 games this week, wasn't it? So we've got 4 wrong over the course of...
Just shows you though that there are points to be picked up, even if we are scoring is quite similar in
1,000%.
certain places.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you say, as long as you stay close and you just hope on the odd week you get a correct score, it can soon, swing and that's really good. Alright, and boys, after that excitement of the week, we'll look into the fixtures. So another Friday fixture, first of all, 17th October. Steel Dogs host Leeds Knights, so a local Yorkshire derby. What we're saying?
Ooh. Steel Dogs at home, but I would like to say Leeds are going to come away with this. They seem to be finding their form, don't they? I'm going to go with a nice little 3-1 win Leeds.
Okay.
4-2 Leeds.
4-2 Leeds. I think we're all in the same ballpark, lads. My initial thought, and I was hoping you guys wouldn't say it, I'm going to go 5-3 to Leeds.
I can see either of them, to be fair, can't you?
Like you say, you don't know what you're getting with Steel Dogs from time to time. They could pull a blinder there.
Very true. Yeah. But there's also a licence for them to sort of take advantage of those younger lads as well this week. Maybe try and get some good matchups. And, you know, they had a great weekend this weekend, but can they make it last? And hopefully, but yeah, it'll be an interesting one. That I don't think it'll be as straightforward as everyone thinks.
No.
That's similarly to the next fixture.
Yeah, so Saturday, 18th October, first game, Swindon Wildcats host Peterborough Phantoms.
I don't want to go first with this one. I think if you're going to go against any of the favourites, this is one of the games to do it.
I will go Swindon 3-2.
Okay. I'll go Swindon 4-2.
I'll go Swindon as well.
I thought you was going to go against a favourite.
No, I was just
trying to wear us
into a false sense of security. I'm going to go Swindon 4-3.
Nice. So pretty close again.
Yeah. Next fixture, Basingstoke Bison at home against the Solway Sharks.
I'll go first on this one. I think Basingstoke will come away with the points, but I think Swindon will give them a decent game, you know.
Solway.
Solway, sorry. It's because we've just been talking about them. However, Basingstoke are at home, aren't they? And from what I gather, they've got an atmosphere there. I'll go Basingstoke 4-2.
5-2 Basingstoke. Sorry lads, I'm struggling with COVID here.
No, I want to get the points.
What a right bad time.
I'm going to go... I want to go 5-3 to Basingstoke. I want Solway to start building something now. So...
Interesting. Bristol Pitbulls host the Hull Seahawks.
Hull Seahawks, and I think it'll be 5-1.
Hull Seahawks 7-2.
Oh, I rate that. I rate it.
Ooh la la.
Yeah.
Any thoughts behind that?
Pitbulls are in a bit of a rough situation. I'm hoping Seahawks are going to start turning a corner, and with obviously watching us against Romford and Solway in the past weekends, there's goals to be had. I just think, 7-2, I think we're quite good for it.
Fair play. I'm going to go Hull Seahawks 5-1.
Says me.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'll go 5-2 then. 5-2.
Did I say 5?
Not a clue.
Don't mind, I'll go 5-2 now. Sorry.
So, another big one. Milton Keynes Lightning host Telford Tigers. On a good day, we would have just said Milton Keynes yada, yada, yada. But as we found out past weekend, not necessarily true.
And this is even more difficult knowing that Telford can have a bit of a blunder as well.
Yeah.
We've just seen it, haven't we? So.
I'm going to go Telford 3-1.
Yeah.
I'm going Telford as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Telford 3-2.
Should go for a clean sweep. No, I'm gonna try and be safe. I'm gonna go MK.
I'm going to try and be safe.
MK 4-1.
Wow.
Reaction from this weekend. They've read it, don't they? Tim Weiss will be belting them next week. But they are more than capable of causing an upset.
I can't wait to keep an eye on this game. There's a part of me I don't know if I've even got anything planned on Saturday, but I'd be almost tempted to buy the stream for that.
Yeah.
I honestly would.
Yeah. Watch party.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a belter of a game to watch.
I agree.
I honestly do.
We'll have to divide. One of us watch Hull Seahawks against Bristol. One of us watch MK against Telford.
We just need to buy
Swindon
we'll just go halves and we'll just buy the stream for each one multi-pass.
Yeah.
So it's like both games. So one on your telly and the one on your phone.
Takes out, yeah.
But yeah, be an absolute belting game that. I think it's really tough to call. Like you say, I probably would have gone with Milton Keynes if they'd have defended the home ice against Leeds, but I don't know.
This could be catastrophic for us, or it could be.
If I get a perfect score on this, I'm going to be screaming.
Mate, if you do, that'd be mega, and I think will be a big turning point for you. Yeah, tough one. Last fixture on the Saturday, Sheffield Steeldogs host Romford Raiders. Again, not necessarily an easy one to call this. You know, it depends what state of play is at Romford, and I think that could make this difficult to predict for us. If they're still going to be 7 Larkers down, I think Sheffield absolutely belt them.
Sheffield two games at home as well.
Yeah, and it depends how much the Friday game against Leeds takes out of them as well. It's an easy one to slip up on this. It really is. I don't know. There's a part of me that's just, I think Sheffield just, preempting that Romford has still got selection issues.
I'm gonna go for Romford on this. I'm gonna back him. And I think it'll be like a 3-2.
Fair play, mate.
Wowza!
But you know what though? There's been teams that have gone to Sheffield and done it. So, no. I'm going to go 5-1 Sheffield.
Do you know what? I was going to say 4-1 Sheffield. Yeah. I just think, watching Romford in that first period against Hull last night, where there was all energy, high action and this, that and the other, and I think Sheffield are good for that sort of ratty performance.
Yeah.
And that's where they'll just find those moments to pick you off and beat you. So,
you're forgetting who Romford have got in goal though.
Cole.
Yeah, but
the thing is as well though, on that same note, they could get a few more legs in this week. They've got the Buccaneers as well, haven't they? You know, and Buckman, who's the manager of Raiders now, used to manage the Buccaneers, didn't he? So who's to say that they don't fill the lines up and go give them a good go?
Yeah, it's a really tough one to call that for that reason.
And that'd be great for them, that.
Oh, I've just seen what...
I know, there's that as well. What did we say? It's a shame this one to double header. Well, we only have to wait a week.
I think we're going to have to spend a bit of money on some streams this weekend, lads, if I'm honest. So, Sunday, 19th of October, first game. Leeds Knights host Milton Keynes Lightning.
This might be game of the weekend.
Could be.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I actually don't think it is. I think MK Telford is.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think MK will have a bee in the bonnet about that this weekend, and they'll want to go, and it'll be a right fight at the castle.
Well, I'll go first then. I think Leeds will take it at home, and I think I'm going to go for like a 5-4.
I was going to say Leeds, but I was going to go 4-2, and I don't know why I was looking at it, because I just thought he's going to say this right. I'm going to say, and I was thinking 3-2, but empty natter to make it 4-2 to Leeds. Right. But yeah, I think 4-2 for me is a good one.
So let me tell you a little story about last week. When we all did MK last week, something in my head told me go for Leeds, and I didn't, and it backfired on me, didn't it? So this week I'm going to do the exact same thing as what's just happened now. And for some reason I'm going to back MK. Everything in my head tells me Leeds. Just something in my heart was just like, Just back MK. I don't know if it's a strategic one where I feel like I might get an MK win on the Saturday, so I've got a point to spare or something like that. But I don't know. I think.
Or he's going to end up bottom again.
Or I'm going to I'll probably end up bottom again. Yeah. But at least I've won it this week. I'm going to go 4-2 MK.
What was it?
For like empty net goal at the end. I don't.
First copy of me.
Yeah.
But the other way around, isn't it?
Yeah. Interesting that.
Everything in my head's telling me, you idiot. You idiot. 4 goals past Gozzy, what are you on?
You say what you're thinking and the other two go opposite. You're a bit like,
next fixture, Romford Raiders host the Bristol Pitbulls. I'm going to go straight off the bat and say Romford 6-2 here. I think Bristol are conceding heavy this week.
Get Leishram and Miller back in the mix and stuff, yeah.
Seahawks going to put 7 past them, and this mob are going to put some by them as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think Romford as well, but I'm not going to go as high scoring. I think it'll be like 4-1.
Fair. I hate to say it, but I can't back the Bristol Pitbulls at the minute. You never want a team to just be the ones that you just automatically push to the side, do you? But I don't know. There's just something not ticking there, isn't there? And that's crazy to say that they've got the likes of the players that they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I think the Raiders 2. I think it'll be quite a tight one. I'm going to go 4-3.
Interesting.
4-3.
Hull Seahawks at home against the Basingstoke Bison.
This will be a good game.
Banana skin this. I'm telling you, we need to win this game, but it's a potential banana skin because they've got Max Wright in goal, and if he has a weldy, then it's we need to be really on it this weekend. We can be, and I'll go first, and I'll back us to win 5-2.
I was thinking something similar.
But it's a wobbly one, this.
Well, I'll go for the next. I think Hull as well, but I'm going to go for a 6-3. 6-3 win.
Yeah.
I'm going to complete the trio. Seahawks 4-2.
Come on, the boys. Please.
Peterborough Phantoms host the Solway Sharks.
At Peterborough.
I think this one could be quite a bad one again for Solway, if I'm honest.
Don't mean to go first.
Yeah, if you want, because I'm having a war in my head at the minute. Yeah. I'm going obscene score.
Well, I'm going to go Peterborough 5-1.
I'm going outlandish here, so I'll go for it. Peterborough 8-2.
I knew you was going to say that. I knew it.
Did you?
I'm not going to go similar, but I had something in my head just rang 8.
You've got some goals in this seat.
I've got a weekend of it.
Yeah, we'll have some Peterborough in the team of the week.
I just think, we've obviously had Yanni in the team of the week, and he bagged 4 assists this weekend just gone. I think if he gets amongst them...
is firing, Lawrence is firing.
It could be a long night.
Yeah,
I hate to say it, because obviously, we've got a bit of a soft spot for Sol and some of the lads down there, but...
Look at this weekend for Telford.
I'm gonna bar. It's hard. I really do want to back Solway. There's something in me at the moment saying Peterborough might be a bit too much of an ask. I'll go 5. I'll go 5-2 Peterborough. What do you go for?
5-1. I think.
Did you? 5-2.
And the final fixture, Telford Tigers at home to Swindon Warpath.
Telford have a right weekend.
I'm not being funny out there. Obviously, I backed Telford against MK. If Telford could do a 4-point weekend...
Against them
too. I'll go first. I'm going to back Telford.
Fair play.
I'm really torn on this.
I'm going to back them at home. I'll go for... Oh, do you know what? I'm going to go for an overtime win. And it'll be 4-3.
If this goes to overtime, say it now. Overtime, Telford winner, I'll give you an extra 2 points.
Oh, fair. You know what? Sorry to cut the seriousness then. It's something that made me laugh in there because I imagine you going, I think they'll win overtime 4-2. It just made me giggle, like, obviously it's possible. I love it. Like, that'd be lovely. I like real love it. Yeah, fair play if they're winning overtime. Extra 2 points, yeah?
Yeah.
Fair.
Oh, this one is a nightmare.
What are you saying, Az?
I don't know. I want to go low scoring because of how good they both are, and obviously Rennie getting another shutout past weekend, you can't see him conceding that many, but then the way Telford are playing at the minute, I just feel like surely Telford don't just score 1 or 2.
You know, what we say about teams playing at home, Telford are very good at home. And they score goals at home.
I don't know if it's a go like low or like a high scoring close game. There's a part of me that was like, oh, shall I just go like 5-4? And I just think there's goals between both teams, but I can't see it being 5-4.
No.
I'll go with my second thought. I'm going to go Swindon 3-1. And again, that'll probably come down to an open goal.
This is going to be a tough weekend for us.
I'm not being funny about if any of us can pick up like correct scores.
I know.
If you get 6 or 7 points this weekend, you've done well.
I think.
I'm still racking my brain about this one. Something in my head tells me that Telford could cause a little bit of an upset here.
This is what I'm saying. It's a real tough one. Top 2 really in the league, isn't it?
I've got to go for Swindon though. I think it'll be similar fashion to Basingstoke, if I'm being honest. They've been not a shutout. I'll go. But then Telford have goals in them, no?
This is where I was struggling.
Really hard. This might be a game of like, you know, at the link where they're losing like, they're winning like 5-4 and stuff. I might go.
Exactly what I was thinking. 5-4, but I went 3-1.
I'll go 4-3 to Swindon, because Telford have goals in them. I think it'll just be a case of we need to score one more than you.
You could pick up an extra point here then.
I know.
A few extra points if you get it right. You know, if you get the Telford and the overtime here, it's like 3 points for you. Could be a big one for you. So that sort of rounds up all the fixtures then, fellas. Great weekend upcoming, like you say.
Can't wait for this one.
You almost just want them to release like a viewing pass, don't you, where you can flip between each of the games, and it costs like 15 quid a month or something.
It's a big talking point, isn't it?
Yeah. You would though, wouldn't you? Because some of these games, even as a neutral, it's like, oh, can you imagine that on a Saturday night? I'd love to be at Hull Fair this weekend. Come home and get settled down to that.
Yeah, right that.
Big quality, that.
Good shout.
So we'll wrap up the episode there then, fellas. Another good one. We've talked a bit of rubbish again. Some good, some bad. You know, it'd be interesting to see what the folks at Seahawks have had to say about our reaction from the past weekend. I don't think it's necessarily all been bad, but we are honest in what we say.
Yeah, definitely. I've been turning my phone off anyway once this released.
So as this release is gone.
Yeah, no, like you say, it's just we don't claim to be experts, so all opinions are our own, as we keep reiterating, but I do think it's important. But yeah, I can't wait for this weekend. Thanks to everybody that's following us and keep watching week in, week out. We've got a lot of interesting stuff upcoming, which I know we say a lot of, but we genuinely do.
A couple of bits booked in now, aren't they? Which will be quite nice over the next few weeks. So stay tuned. That'll be nice. Yeah,
we appreciate the interaction we get, but we do always want more. So feel free to have a jab at us if you really want to. We don't mind. We can take it. We're big boys and we've got thick skin.
Or on the flip side, tell us if you enjoy it. Like we're not going out for reactions and stuff like that. Like
that's because
on the contrary, nah. It's nothing about that, is it? Like we genuinely appreciate everyone who gets in touch with us.
Yeah.
We have, and like as I said last week, we appreciate the people who got in touch with us this weekend and let us know how some games went. We had a little bit of that on Instagram this week, which was nice, and obviously it gives us a little bit of extra detail into games, so we sound like we know what we're on about.
Yeah. That is it's important, isn't it? I think, like you said, if we could get that season sort of ticket for streaming off the ground where you could watch all the games, we'd do well more in the know, won't we?
At the end of the day, it's a community thing, isn't it? You know, we are part of a community. You know, so if people want to talk to us, we are open, we're willing to talk, and it's always good and get a different perspective. So, yeah, don't be shy. You always drop in and have a chat with us.
1,000%.
Yeah. So
thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching as always.